Charu from embodiedtantra.com, and I want to talk to you today about one thing that may be keeping you from really deepening and making that big breakthrough in your spiritual growth. And we live in a really weird time because there have been so many false gurus, and for so much time there's been this big idea that people who are in the spotlight and who are teachers, that they have to have it all together. And this idea that they've got it figured out and I don't. And a lot of time we've spent giving our power away to people who actually were completely hollow in their message, or worse, were actually not very nice people and who are doing dark stuff too. And I think that that's really broken our hearts and our spirits and made us really wary. And one of the big issues with what's come with that wariness, which is actually a good thing, to not just give our power away, but in a lot of ways we've lost our capacity to surrender to a teacher. And so let me also say, without a certain level of surrender to a teacher or a teaching, and that doesn't mean giving your power away, without a certain level of surrender, we cannot explore a deeper level. The heart of what a great teacher is going to hold for you is a more full vision of you from the outside. They're going to ultimately be seeing the best in you and beckoning you toward that best self. That's an ideal circumstance. And what I see now is, and what I'm excited, I hope to be a part of, is that the new teacher is standing up and saying, look, I'm a human being and I do not have this all figured out. But I am here a few steps ahead of you in the journey with some maybe different tools than you have, and I can hold your hand and I can see this for you. But even the best teacher who's integrated and who's honest, if you're showing up bringing a wary self and not really surrendering to the message or to their feedback or to their container that they create for you, then, and you're just hopping from teacher to teacher, because anytime they say something that you don't like or you're not sure you agree with, you just pop over to the next modality or the next teacher, you're doing yourself a great disservice. And I see this a lot. People who get stuck, they deep into a certain degree and they get stuck and they kind of dance around this area feeling relatively enlightened but still a bit discontent and not letting themselves drop to the next level that their body is ready for, because we've lost this capacity for surrender. So how do you surrender in a world where discernment is very, very important? And how I've chosen to do this in my life is a process of intuition. So the first thing is creating a great relationship with your intuition. I do that through opening my body with the tantric practices, and then my inner voice gets very, very loud. But you're going to do that in whatever way is right for you. So when you feel an inner voice and when you feel a yes for a teacher that comes into your sphere, what I'm suggesting is trust that yes, and then decide inside yourself through your internal voice, how long am I going to choose to surrender to this teacher and this path? And that may change, but begin with something. So for example, maybe I have a hit, this is my next teacher, and I check in, how long will I surrender to this? I'm willing to surrender right now for 1 month. So for the next month, even if that teacher says something that I disagree with, that scares me, that hits against my edges, I'm going to stay in because it was my intuition and my body that brought me to this teacher and to this process. Because if I'm slipping out the back every time I get uncomfortable, then that teacher actually can't do the job that they came into my life to do, which is to take me to the next level. So I invite you to explore this and to follow your intuition, to listen to those yeses, and to explore stretching into surrendering, not blindly, not without discernment, but when you feel a yes, listen to your yes and don't just duck out because it gets uncomfortable. It's the discomfort that is the place, the edge where we grow. So give this a try. I'd of course love to hear from you if you have comments about this showing up in your life, comments about experimenting with it and it working or not working, what's going on with you, and if you'd like to learn more about Tantra and use some of these practices to open to hearing your inner voice in a more powerful way, you can go to embodytantra.com and get my Tantra Startup Kit. Looking forward to sharing more of this with you.